All right, so we launched this morning at the McDonald Beach boat launch. We're heading up the north arm of the Fraser River, navigating past some of these log booms and some of the logs in the water, making our way out to the open ocean here in English Bay. And we're going to be crossing over from there, I believe, going over towards Bowen Island to drop the prawn traps.
Yep, right in front of us there's Bowen Island. To our right here is University of British Columbia, as we're coming around the point here, Point Grey. And so we're, half a mile away from the ocean.
Awesome. Check this out, it's clearing up.
Yes.
And we got some beautiful snow-capped mountains in the background. Gonna be a good day.
Yeah.
That's prawning.
Fish on, fish on, fish on. Double. That's right. Hi, I'm Ivan with Amazing Fishing Charters, based out of Vancouver. I'm very happy to have Tyler and James on board today from Guide's Guide. I'm going to show you what the winter fishery is all about here in the city of Vancouver, and as well as we're going to drop some prawn traps and enjoy the beautiful frosty day.
We just pulled up to our prawning spot here. We crossed over from the north arm over towards Bowen Island, and coming out of the mouth of the north arm there, we had a few obstacles we had to overcome, which was some logs, some tugboats hauling some log booms, and then just that north wind with that flood tide made for a little bit of choppy water, but we got over here no problem, and it took us about, what, 30 minutes?
Yeah, 30-minute run, about 7 miles from the north arm.
Perfect.
And we're in about almost 290 feet of water, which is my target depth, is anywhere from 250 to 300 feet of water this time of the year. And we'll be stretching out 8 traps on 4 lines, and we'll go from there.
We're just about to drop the traps here, Ivan. Can you do us a favor and just talk us through your setup, the types of traps that you're using, the distance between the traps, etc.?
Okay, this is a rectangular mesh trap. It's different from the stackable net trap, where this is a rigid trap. Your bait jar goes in the top here, and today we're using just your typical commercial style bait pellet, which is super prawn bait. And what I do is I mix a can of cat food with my bait, and so just throw it in there. And if you notice, I got rot cord here and rot cord there. These are escape hatches in case we lose a trap. They've got to have an escape, and so this is rot cord. It will rot away, and these hatches will open up, and this is where we take the prawns out. And under regulations, because it had a system like this on there, you have to have rot cord in there. So that also, so I just eliminated the hook and just tied it up like that.
In this area here with the tide that you experienced versus us on the island, we got some pretty heavy tides, especially on the inside towards Campbell River and Courtney. We are always weighting our traps, but here you don't have quite that tide rip.
I find these traps they're reasonably heavy, and with 2 on 1 line, it's fine. I've never had a set of traps get lost to current. Okay. Right. So.
And do you run any lead weights on your line just to keep things down?
No, I use a sinking line.
Sinking line?
Yeah,
okay.
That's it.
Perfect.
And then on this one, this is a floating line, but there's 100 feet of sinking line at the top end.
Okay.
How far between the first trap and the second trap are you, Ivan?
I like to go anywhere from 30 to 50 feet. Okay. So I just count out, 10, 12, 15 pulls like that. Say that's enough there. Say get another trap ready. Like so, and this one goes overboard first. I'll have it in gear, and then when this line goes tight, you throw the second one over, and then we'll just watch the rope come out. Okay, James, you ready?
Ready to go, Captain.
Let her rip.
And as we're letting these down, every once in a while I'll give this a little pull to make sure that we keep that distance between the first trap and the second trap. Clip this one on, like that, make sure it's tight, pulley's gone, and we'll move on to the next one.
Ready?
Yes, sir.
Let her rip.
Throw that one on the bucket. Ivan's got 1 small trap here in the series of 8 traps. If he's gonna do a small trap with a big trap, he does a small trap first, big trap second, so that the bigger trap holds down the weight of everything. And then he's got obviously his sinking line on there, so.
Just holding the line out like this to keep it away from the boat. Ivan's doing a great job turning into this trap as they're going down. Give it a little pull. Keep those traps separated from each other. Just gone past the floating line, getting into the sinking line. Ooh, that sun is nice, hey? 20 feet. Good team effort.
Well, we're officially fishing now.
Nice work, buddy. We
Traps
are
in the
prawning.
water. This episode is brought to you by West Coast Fishing Tackle, the quality anglers deserve. Parksville Boathouse, your full-service boat dealer and chandlery. Gone Fishing, serving Vancouver Island and beyond for over 30 years.
The reason we're on this side of Bowen Island today is because we have that northwest wind. So it's a little lumpy on the south end of Bowen where I normally prawn. So this is nice and calm. So when we go to get the traps back later, it'll be calm bringing them up on the winch. Otherwise we'll be rocking and rolling and getting back trolling, getting splashed and wet, and it makes it really difficult for us. So this is good. We could stay right here and fish here. We could go around the other side of Bowen Island, which is a traditional winter fishing spot in Tunstall Bay, up at the waterfall and towards Grace Islands. But for some reason, the fish are stacked in Vancouver Harbor. So that's where we're going. Now we'll head back to the Red Can area off of Point Grey, because that's where the fishing has been really hot in the last couple of weeks. Well, actually, since mid-November, it's been really, really good there. So we're going to go back to where I know where the fish is.
Getting the gear set up here, pulling out some cannonballs. Ivan's got a selection of either 15 or 18 pound balls around here. We know that we're going to be coming up to the high tide around 10 o'clock. But we're still in the flood tide right now, so I'm going to choose to go with the 18s. Might as well go heavy. That'll give us the option to get down nice and deep and hopefully keep that nice 45-degree angle on our downriggers. Ivan's picking out some lures for us. Looks like we're going with some greens.
Because I've got some very experienced fishermen today, normally you'll see everybody fish 2 rods, 1 on each downrigger. I like to fish 4 rods, because if you got experienced men, fisher people on the rods, fish 4 rods. Because you get 1 fish on, leave 3 down, you get another fish, you got the double header. It's a lot of fun, and that's what fishing's all about, having fun. And when you double up on the rods, you double up on chances of catching fish.
Ivan, what I'm seeing here in a lot of these flashes that you're using is you've got green, a little bit of chartreuse, a little bit of chrome. They've got moon jelly on them. That spoon has green in it. It's got glow. That one's got green in it. Obviously, probably UV. Yep. That one's got little black and pink. That's the black herring.
That's
and
the black
also
herring.
Glow. So this time of year, are you fishing near the bottom most of the time?
Yeah, we're fishing right off the bottom. So when we let our downriggers down, we hit the bottom, bring them up 5 feet, right? And that'll be perfect. And then my spread between rods on the same rigger is roughly 25 feet.
Okay.
And so we're going to have, say, if it's 150 feet of water, we'll have one at 140, and 25 feet up from that, it's 135. So we'll have 2 going like that. And then the other side, we'll just make it maybe 5-10 feet difference. And so we'll have 4 at different depths, but all close to the bottom.
Okay, and this time of year, just judging by what you're using,
Yeah.
the green and the glow seems to be the way to go.
As you can see, a lot of times the winter is very clear, but when we get close to the river, it's a little silty, and we can't see that far down, so we use a lot of glow now. Yeah, anytime you're near the mouth of the river, like the North Arm where the water comes out, and if it's a flood tide, that silky water gets pushed into the harbor. And the same if in the fall when we're fishing the sand heads and all that, it's glow, glow, glow is everything.
Awesome.
And then if we're fishing back over towards Bowen Island, where the water's a lot clearer, you don't necessarily need the glow. You just need more, you need flash. And then people ask me all the time, what's your leader, right? All the time. So for a hoochie, I use 50 to 60 pound test minimum on the leader, because as the flasher's going around, if you use anything less than that, you'll find that the hoochie has no action because the line's too loose. But if you use a heavier leader material, when this is flashing around, it'll whip the hoochie around. Yeah.
Interesting, okay.
And then on the West Coast, when I'm fishing out there, I'll use like a 100-pound test.
Yeah.
And it's really good because if you're going to release fish, You get it up, you just grab the leader like this, and you take your gaff, you can do a gaff release, and plus with the thicker leader material.
Yeah, you can be confident about lifting
yes,
that fish
absolutely.
and gaff releasing it.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So just to go over, with the spoon you had about what, a 5-6 foot leader?
5 to 6 feet. Yep.
And with the hoochie you're looking at about 38 inches, 42?
I don't measure. I just go from my right pec muscle to my fingertips. That's
Okay.
it. Yep.
All right.
And then that's the general length of all my hoochies. Right there, the entire.
There.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
And you're going to take that back about 20 feet behind that clip, right?
Yeah, roughly 20 feet, the length of the boat here, right there. Point the rod tip to the front so you don't touch, and then just grab the line, put it in the rod holder.
It's a neat move. Nice way to save your reel. Way more
And then
effective.
I like to put my line right at the base of the clip here, right?
Okay, and you also have it set on the heavy setting?
Yeah, I have it on the heavy setting, so this is the light setting when it's in the up position. Great for cut plugging. When you get those soft bites, you're going very slow, but because you're trolling at a faster speed, you get too much pull on it, and it'll just come out of the clip. So heavy setting.
And obviously, while you're dropping, you want to keep the boat going straight. You don't want to
Yeah.
be turning at this point because you don't want to get tangled in the other lines. So moving in a straightforward motion.
And the rod, please. Okay, we've got a spoon and a hoochie on that side. We got a spoon on here. I think we're going to throw another spoon out.
Okay.
And this is the black herring.
Oh, that's black herring, West
Yeah.
Coast fishing tackle, and
Very
again with some
successful.
glow.
Yeah.
You like that one, don't you?
Yes, I tend to.
All of the herring, if there are herring in the area, do have a slight pink tinge to them. You can see the reason why that pink is in there with the slight scale pattern as well. You're going to bring this in and put it in between your two stopper beads.
Yeah, there's the lower one there and the upper one's in there still.
Okay.
Make sure that's not tangled. There. Loosen off the drag there. Down we go.
We're in 130 feet. And again, are you going to go right down to the bottom with this one, Ivan?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just noticed that the boats behind us here. That one's about a 15-footer. That one's about a 17-footer. This one here is only a 21-footer. That's the beauty of fishing Vancouver area. We're in kind of protected waters. So you don't need the big 26, 28, 30-foot, big twin engine type boats, to come out here and enjoy a day of fishing.
So I think we actually might either have a tangle or a bite, and I think we got a tangle. So when you guys are running tandems on one rigger, you might get tangles every now and again, especially because we hit bottom with the cannonball. And this is a common issue that you'll see if you do have a tangle. You can see that rod tip is kind of bouncing a bit erratically. It's not quite a fish bite, and you can see that both rods are kind of bouncing the same way. So we probably have a little bit of a tangle that we have to deal with. So what we'll do is we'll just bring the riggers up, quickly untangle, and drop them back down. So you can see here, guys, what happened was our lines were just crossed.
Yeah,
And his lure is attached to my line. So it's not really a tangle, it's just a matter of unhooking his hook from my line, and we'll be good to go. What have you been seeing in the fish's bellies lately as far as bait goes?
well, the fish that we've kept for the guests, that when I clean, there's nothing in their stomachs.
Oh, really?
You know,
Okay.
there's so much bait here. So they could be anchovy, it could be herring, or it could be squid.
It could be
But
squid, okay.
who knows?
So that's why we're running spoons and hoochies right now,
Yep.
is because we don't necessarily know what the bait is. We just
Right.
know there's bait down there.
Yes.
So we're kind of covering all our bases.
Yep.
And with the ability of running 4 rods, we can run
And-
all the different kinds of imitation bait that
Yep.
we want, whether it be spoons, hoochies, turds,
And even plugs.
and even plugs if you want
Yes.
to. Oh, so you guys plug fish in this
Yes,
area too?
absolutely.
Oh,
absolutely.
very cool.
5-inch plugs are dynamite here.
5-inch plugs.
Yeah.
And what kind of colors are you looking for?
In the pearlescent type of thing,
Yeah.
plug, as well as greens.
Okay.
Greens, anything with green and blue in it.
Okay, and
yeah.
glow in the plugs, or are you just looking
glow.
for UV?
Yeah,
glow. Yeah,
for sure.
Who would believe this is the first week of January? We've got sun in the sky. We've got snow-capped mountains behind us. We're 10 minutes from Vancouver. Stanley Park is right over there.
Fish on, fish on!
Fish on! Let me know if you want that back rod up.
That's the top rod.
Yep. Not a bad fish.
Ooh, got a decent one?
Yeah, taking the line.
Yeah, took a little line. Woke up a little bit.
Tighten that drag up slightly.
Okay. I'm gonna turn the
Nice.
boat load to the
Not a bad fish. Could be 9 to 12 pounder.
Good winter spring. Let's go.
I was just saying, so come on, here we are, first week of January, 2025. Sun is out, got a little bit of blue sky, snow-capped mountains. Vancouver is the background. Other boats out here fishing. It's warmed up from this morning. Fish on. Hello. Welcome to BC, baby.
Yeah, there really is something about getting out here in January in the brisk air like this when the sun's out and you get the fish on. It's cool.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, we were down at 140 on that rod.
140. And the top one on this side, I think, with the black herring.
Oh, fish on, double,
Fish on, double.
That's why.
There we go, buddy.
That's why we leave the
Other
the
rod
rod
down.
down.
I got it.
Yeah.
Nice one, Tyler. I'm going to
Ty.
come over top of you, buddy.
Let's do the dance.
Nice.
Yeah.
This is my favorite two-step.
James is on top water.
Okay, I was a little off on my size.
We'll be
This guy-
releasing them anyway. It's a,
Trying to come underneath you.
yep, get my gaff ready here.
Come over here, buddy.
Okay.
I'm going to keep him on that side.
Yep.
Let's try and get Mark there so you can see the
Come
fish.
inside me here.
Yep.
He's not as big as I thought he was. Probably a 5-6 pounder.
And it's a hatchery fish, and it's pretty close to legal. I would say it's just, borderline legal.
I
but
would say that. Yeah, I'd
Yeah.
agree with you.
just get down to the hook, flip it up. There she goes.
Nicely done.
Which way you gonna bring that one up that side?
I'm gonna try and bring it over to you if I can, but
Okay. Or you come right in between the two lines.
yeah, you sure?
Yeah, I can get in there.
Okay.
All right, we're doing a little bit of catch and release here. That one is definitely over 62 centimeters.
That one's definitely illegal. This
Yep.
one's definitely illegal. And it's another hatchery fish, so that's like twins. So what you do is you grab the line nice and low, get your gap nice and low. Oh, there it goes.
Thanks, Ivan.
Nice going on.
Good job. Nice that we got the prawn traps in the water over near Bowen Island. Now we've got 4 rods fishing here. Beautiful scenic view of English Bay and Point Grey. And for all of you out there that fish in this area, let us know in the comments what you're using. If you like to fish, tight into the bell buoy here, or maybe you're fishing over towards West Van or North Van. And please like and subscribe if you're enjoying the content that we're putting out. It really helps out the channel to help us bring you guys more content like this. This episode is brought to you by Parksville Boathouse, your full-service boat dealer and chandlery. Gone Fishing, serving Vancouver Island and beyond for over 30 years. West Coast Fishing Tackle, the quality anglers deserve.
If you've been watching us over the last couple of months, you notice that we moved to different areas around British Columbia and the Pacific Northwest to highlight how you can catch fish in those different districts. If you're interested in getting some exposure for yourself or showing us how you fish the location that you're in, please get in touch with us. Either DM us, you can get in touch with Tyler at tyler@theguidesguide.ca, myself, James at theguidesguide.ca. We'd love to hear from you because we'd like to learn how to fish your area better. Fishing right here off of Point Grey, right off the red bell buoy. We've got North Vancouver, West Vancouver. What are some of the areas you like to hit, or where are some of the areas that other fishermen can go within sort of a 10-mile radius if the fish aren't right here at Point Grey?
Well, you got the boat launch in Richmond that
Yep.
we just came out of. You got the boat launch right in Falls Creek, which is Vanier Park. You got a boat launch up at Kate's Park in North Vancouver. So majority of people that tow their boats, okay? And so they hit these points. And there's one, of course, in Horseshoe Bay.
Right.
So in this general area of Metro Vancouver, you can fish Point Atkinson, which is the lighthouse right there. And fish will stack there on the outgoing ebb tide. And all the bait will be coming out of, say, Indian Arm and through Vancouver Harbor, and they'll stack up along there just as like they're stacked right here.
Right.
So there's bait over there as well.
Okay.
Just that because social media, everybody's fishing here.
Right.
And yesterday there was 80 boats here on
Right.
Sunday, and this is January. 80 boats. But in the summertime, we fish all along the West Vancouver waterfront. And in the fall, when the fish are returning to the Capilano and the Seymour River hatcheries, you'll find a lot of the boaters will be there. There'll be 300-400 boats fishing along the West Vancouver waterfront.
Wow, okay.
We're out at the Bellboy. Is there a preferred depth that you like to stick to? Is there a contour line that you like to go back and forth on?
Yes, there's a depth contour line. It goes between the Bellboy and the first mile marker, navigational aid, you'll see 1 mile apart, and then there's another mile, they call it mile markers.
Yep.
And there's a definite trench or ditch that we like to fish in. And you just basically hug that ditch, and we like to be right on the bottom until, definitely through the winter, spring. And then once we get into summer months, when the fish come up higher, then we like to bring up our baits anywhere from, say, 25 feet down to 65, 75 feet, so you're not right on the bottom. But right now, in the wintertime, like anywhere else we fish, we like to be really deep.
This has become a standard or staple on our trips. You want to talk me through what's in your recipe, buddy?
Yeah, this is just my favorite canned salmon. My canned salmon is super easy. A little bit of salt, a little bit of vinegar, can it for 90 minutes. And then I throw a little bit of mayo, some Dijon, and some sweet relish without any dill in it. And it makes for a really nice kind of nori sushi snack on the boat. And it's just a great way to enjoy your catch while you're catching some salmon. 8 times out of 10, when you pull out the canned salmon, you're gonna get some bites. So hopefully that's the case today. We'll see how it goes.
Haven't had a bite for about 10 minutes, so we're hoping this works.
But I'm ready for a bite,
Yes,
so let's go. And don't forget to give me your honest opinion. If it sucks, you gotta tell me.
Don't eat any. Don't eat any. I'll look after it.
You want the whole thing, do you?
That is fantastic.
Isn't it? Check this out, guys. There is so much bait down there on the bottom. It's coming by. We're in 160 feet. It's been coming by between 140 and 160 feet. Pretty typical this time of year. More of it coming by as we go through this area. That's why we're here. We're down in that stuff. We're not sure if it's anchovies, if it's herring, if it's squid, but that's where you want to be. Look at that screen.
Got a bite, little guy.
Whoa, he's peeling line.
Oh, I think he got off. He just popped off. It was heavy. It was heavy, and then because I didn't even touch the dragon, it was all.
Light taps on him at
Yeah.
first, though. It didn't seem like a big fish.
Yeah.
All right, we'll get him back.
We'll get back.
We're in the zone.
Ivan, we had a hit and a miss there. What was it on, buddy?
Well, we had the chartreuse flasher, and we had the black herring glow spoon. It's been phenomenal. We used it in Bamfield last summer. It was just knocking them dead. They're knocking them silly in the lower mainland here. The standby favorite, of course, is the Halo series No Bananas, which came out this past year, and it's the fixture out here with the Green Hornet Super Glow Flasher again, the electro mirror flasher.
And this one looks a little special.
Yes, this one here is a different spoon shape from the fatty spoon shape. And it doesn't have any glow on it. It's called the Seahawk color after the Seattle Seahawks, I imagine.
And then from a hoochie perspective?
Hoochie's perspective, standby go-to all over the inside straight, outside is the Blue Meanie. This is the glow one. It's got white here and it's got blue, black with a little green in there. That works all year here. Whether you're over at Thrasher Rock, Entrance Island, whether you're here in Vancouver, it's a standard. Fish on, fish on, fish on.
Oh! There he is. Ooh, he's a feisty boy, feisty. Ooh, yeah, baby. Here we go. That's what I like to see. He's either swimming towards me or he just spat the hook. Oh, he's there, he's there, he's there. Right on the top water. He's there. swimming right towards me. Fish at the boat. That's a nice fish. That's a really nice fish. Beautiful Winter. Look at the size of this guy. Definite keeper. Beautiful. Awesome. Hey, high fives. Thanks, Ivan.
Nice going, Ivan.
What a job. I know, right? Thank goodness we can prove it. What a beautiful, wild Winter Chinook here. Probably about 70 centimeters, something like that, maybe 72. 62s are legal around here, so this is a really nice eating fish. We're gonna take this one home. Let's have a measure here. Ivan, what do you think?
Well, you said 72. And
72. Guys.
A two flasher. Nice spring.
Beauty.
Nice winter, actually. That is one of my favorite eating fish.
When you're fishing in the wintertime, you do got to think about timing. We're going to pull up the gear here. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We're going to head back over towards Bowen Island to pick up the prawn traps so that we can head back to the dock and make sure that we have enough daylight to get in and get everything settled in. We just arrived back at where we had dropped the prawn traps. We've taken off one of the downriggers. Ivan's got a ace line hauler here for pulling the prawn pots. There is a variety of different prawn pullers out there, but this works really well for a lot of fishermen and a lot of guys. So we'll get this set up here and get these prawn traps pulled and see what's inside. Oh yeah, there we go.
Bottom pot.
Look at this beautiful spot prawn, really nice size. These are gonna make for a nice, delicious snack, either on the barbecue, but we'll probably have a few of these raw on the way home. We're fortunate enough to get some prawns on the boat here, and one of the things you have to do is identify male from female. And one of the things you're gonna see here is these little egg sacs inside of the female versus a male over here doesn't have any eggs. These will typically stay as male for 2 years and then transition to a female in their last 2 years of survival, correct?
Yeah, and they live about 4 years, their lifespan.
Yeah. So you want to get these ones back into the water as quickly as possible, so we'll let this female go.
Outside, because the birds will get it.
Okay.
Last string, fellas, this one's really gonna pay. I'm gonna say 40 to 50 per pot, and then they'll make it a great haul.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
Oh yeah, baby.
Did I call it?
There we go. I would say that's a good 40 in there. Yeah, right about 40.
Yeah, I would say so.
Nice one.
Way to go, Ivan. That's more like it, baby. Just like you promised. Woo-hoo-hoo. Look at that. Okay, we're here taking the heads off of the prawns. Easiest way to do it is just to slip your thumb in underneath like that, twist sideways, throw the head off, and take the tail and put it in the bucket. Number of reasons that we do this. One, a lot of people prefer to eat just the tails, but the other reason is that in the brain, when they suffocate and die, as they're doing right now, they release an enzyme that makes its way down into the meat and makes the meat mushy. The quicker you get that head off and keep the tail without the enzymes going into the meat, the better off that meat's gonna taste.
Yeah,
That's prawning.
that's spot prawning in Vancouver. Cheers,
Cheers.
fellas. Here we
Cheers.
go.
Nice.
Bottoms up.
Ivan, thank you very, very much for an incredible day out there. Winter fishing out of Vancouver. I think if there's 3 things that I took away from this: fish green, fish glow, fish deep, fish the tide changes.
Ivan, thank you so much for having us. It was a real pleasure to be out on the boat with you today. and can't wait to do it again sometime.
And if anybody out there wants to come out with amazing fishing charters, look me up. I'd be more than happy to take you out.
Definitely look this guy up.
Thank you all so much for watching the episode of The Guide's Guide. Please drop your comments, your experience, your stories down below. Hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. We'll see you out on the water.